the best team in baseball.
Oh my God, we are 50 minutes into this podcast and we haven't even mentioned briefly, the best team in baseball, my Detroit Tigers. What, 29-15? They're one game better than the New York Mets. They're actually, I think, 2 games up on the Dodgers even, which is crazy to think about. Just unreal. They're just doing everything right. I've talked about this every week pretty much so far, that how this is justifying or validating that end of the last season, those 2 months that were so improbable. It's showing that shit was real. This week they completed a sweep against the Boston Red Sox, who kind of are a bit of a pariah in Detroit in that they won the Alex Bregman sweepstakes in a very kind of a slam dunk fashion, as they offered less money, but more annual average value to Alex Bregman. So he was lustily booed throughout the series in Detroit this week. It's kind of funny, but he had a good series regardless, a few home runs and stuff. But alas, his Red Sox were swept out of Detroit. So there's some justice there. It felt good. I'm sure Tigers fans in attendance felt great about that. There's a famous quote by AJ Hinch at one point. It's like, well, we want people that want to be here. If you don't want to be here, that's fine. We'll beat you. And that was last year, so it couldn't have come more true and more appropriately for Alex Bregman this week. So that was great. The other great parts of that series specifically was not one but 2 walk-off wins. The final 2 games of the 3-game series were both walk-offs. Last night with Justin Henry Malloy with a key single off Aroldis Chapman. But the night previous was one of the most epic walk-offs, one of the most epic nights I can remember in recent Tiger history. And I couldn't be happier for Javy Báez. And I brought it up. I actually just did a segment probably 2 shows ago, how Javy had been a key contributor to the Tigers' success so far this season. And it hadn't been talked about a whole lot. And he hadn't had like a signature moment or anything, a standard Javy moment that Cubs fans have been privy to from his time there. But Javy had his moment, and boy did he have his moment on Tuesday night. He not only early in the game had a really smart base running play, which actually he almost got picked off third base, back pick by the catcher. But when he kind of knew he was going to get picked off, he actually ran straight to third baseman Alex Bregman's glove, which got his body right in the path of the throw from the catcher, which bounced off of him, and he went into the outfield and he scored the run. I think it was the first run of the game, first or second run of the game. So he had that kind of reminded me of the old Javy, which we haven't seen in years. Just a magician on the base pass. But he did have a 3-run home run after that, which is great to see the power coming back. He is laying off that slider that has been his kryptonite his entire career. I remember, almost 10 years ago, Joe Madden commented, like, if Javy could just lay off the slider, he's Manny Ramirez. Like, he's that talented a hitter. It's just this one fatal flaw is crushing him. And when he lays off of it, he is great. And that's what he's doing this year. He's identifying the slider, which it felt like he almost had a vision problem or something last year. He just could not see spin, and just, balls coming straight at him, it dives off the plate, and he just is not prepared for it. So that's no longer the case. He's actually drawing a few walks. So it's just crazy. And I've talked about it over the years. Like, I feel like Tigers fans just never saw the real Javy. It's been 3 years. This is his 4th year as a Tiger, and he's been awful. Not just mediocre. He's been one of the worst hitters in baseball. And now people are starting to see it in Detroit, and he's definitely having his moment. It's so cool to see, because I hoped it was still in there. I had hoped that Tigers fans would see that. He is finally putting it together, and he really put it together in extra innings with his second 3-run homer, a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 11th to win the game. I don't know if I know you've seen some Tigers clips this week because they're all over the place, but I don't know if you've seen that clip where the catcher immediately rips off his mask, throws it down, and like looks so disgusted. Javy, meanwhile, is standing in the background just with his arms raised, just admiring his own handiwork. The pitcher looks like he's taking a shit on the mound because he knows it's out immediately. Crowd's just going fucking nuts. He's transitioned. I kind of brought this up maybe last year. Like, he was never called Javy Báez in Detroit until recently. He was Javier Baez, and I almost feel like that's a different person almost. Like there's something to Javy Báez versus Javier. Well, now he is Javy Báez, as you could hear in the post game show, which is done on the concourse at Comerica Park. 10, 15 minutes after the game, you could still hear fans just chanting Javy, Javy during the post game show.
Can I ask you? Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
How long have they been doing the post game show on the concourse?
It's been there for quite a while. I just saw it when I was there 2 weeks ago. The set's like right there on I think it's the first base side.
But they've been doing it for like a few years or something like that, or
it's been there for a while. Yeah, I remember it.
Okay.
I didn't start going back to Comerica Park until 2022, and I think I remember it then. So I don't know when it started, but it's super cool. It's like like you could walk right next to it at any point. So it's a good setup.
The Sox, when they're home, Ozzy and Chuck are at the ballpark doing a pre and post game show, but it's like in the 300 level or something.
Oh, yeah, this is 100. Yeah, this is right behind the lower bowl. This is like kind of where like other sections would be like reserved handicap seating. It's like one of those areas right behind the stands.
Super cool. That's super cool.
It's really cool. So I walked by it 2 weeks ago. Just I was there way too early, so they weren't doing the pregame show yet there. But it kind of sucks though when it's chilly because they're sitting there just freezing their asses off. And that's a wind tunnel at that point, right? Because it's right by the entry gate, so the wind blows straight through there. But so yeah, Javy is now Javy in Detroit. I feel so good because I swear I've been the only Tigers fan in my unique position, living in Chicago for all those years and being a Cubs fan as well. I saw what Javy could be, and no one in Detroit, unless they were watching a lot of Cubs games, really knew what Javy could be. So it's happening now. I feel so good for him. He's been such a good teammate. Like he hasn't, contrary to what fans are saying, that he should be cut from the team and he's a clubhouse cancer. Like that's just not the case. If that were the case, they would have benched him long ago. They would have found a way to get him out of there. The idea that fans wanted to get rid of him, just coming into the season, they were still so anti-Javy. He has 3 years left and $70 million on his contract. The Tigers were never going to just tell him to go away and just pay him. They had to find a way to help him contribute and have him help contribute. I think the key of this is he had hip surgery in the offseason, and that may have been the issue all along, where he just has not been healthy. And coming into the spring training, he says he felt better than has in years. So that may have been something that should have been taken care of long ago. That could be the explanation of why he looks like a real hitter. He's got a 309 average, 5 home runs, 27 RBI, 842 OPS, which he was in the 500s last year. And he's 137 OPS plus. So that is contributions on the offensive side. He's got a 1.9 WAR, which speaks a lot to his defense as well, which he has gladly moved into center field, which I've never. He always played shortstop. I think he played second base a little bit with the Mets, but with all the injuries to the Tigers outfield, they had a hole in center field. AJ Hinch is like, "Do you want to play center field?" Fuck yeah, he does. He looks as good as any center fielder in the game right now. He is not a defensive liability. In fact, there are now reports. I listen to a lot of Chicago sports talk radio who are now commenting on how well Javy's doing in Detroit. Mark Grody from The Score actually interviewed him back in 2017, maybe, and asked him what his favorite position was, and he told him right then it was center field. But they actually asked Joe Madden about that at the time. He's like, well, an athlete that good, he's got to be in the dirt. You can contribute much more, at least for that team at that time, as shortstop. So that was understandable. But I guess Javy's always wanted to play center field, and now we're seeing why. He is amongst the best in center field and just looks natural at it, even though he's only played it 21 games now in his major league career. So it's just a remarkable renaissance. I really, he's gotten such a bad rap because he's been so shitty and people shit all over him, make him out to be a bad guy. And he's not. He never was a bad guy, never a bad teammate. He just sucked at baseball for a while, inexplicably. So it's great to see that coming together for him and him having his moment. Now everyone can see what El Mago really is.
Oh, I'm so excited for everybody. I really am.
F you.
Did so what do they do? They like give him a couple days off a week or something like that? Like with all the talent you have on the team. I know he doesn't play every single game, but
He's pretty much in the lineup every day now
okay.
because they have no good options at center field with Parker Meadows hurt. Matt Vierling is coming back, but most likely he's going to be playing third base. So this is kind of a crazy. Wenzel Perez is their third string center fielder. He got hurt at the beginning of the season as well. So they're their fourth string desperation center fielder, and that's Javy Báez, and it's working out fucking great. It's interesting because Parker Meadows will be coming back at the end of this month. Hopefully, he was placed on the 60-day IL to start the season, so he's eligible to come back at the end of the month. He's gonna have to work his ass off to supplant Javy Báez. Parker Meadows is a better center fielder. I argue he's going to be the best center fielder in the American League, if not the entire league. But they don't have to rush him because Javy's holding it down. So they can take their time with him in the minors, like getting a swing back. He did have a shoulder issue, is what's a weird like nerve issue in his shoulder that's put him out this long. So it might take him a while to reacclimate and get a swing back. So that's if Javy keeps playing like this, that's fine to give Meadows all the time he needs, and then figure out a place to put Javy. He might even end up at third base just because it's been such a problem for the Tigers so far this year. Once they just sent down Jace Young to the minors yesterday, I think. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing. These are first world problems, I guess you'd call them. We'll figure out
I would
how
say
to make that
so.
work.
I would say so. I'm really nervous for you guys.
So yeah, good times in the Motor City.